Why am I not talking? Doing this for the inner child. I feel like my inner child really, really, really wanted to stay quiet most of the time. But then, um, I don't know for what reasons, but I think I couldn't collect my thoughts enough and put them into meaningful sentences. There's always been this disconnect in my intention and my words, and I feel like a lot of us, a lot of people will relate to this. Um, and so I ended up developing because it was so hard for me to um, express myself in a way that felt satisfactory to me. I overcompensated for it by becoming extremely talkative and having zero filter. Like any thought that's even beginning to enter my mind is already coming out through my mouth. And then after a while, I'm back to my original self, and I'm like, why did I do that? Why did I talk? Why did I say all those things? Turns out it's a neurodivergent thing. Um, hmm. Using psychological terms is a kind of a trigger for me because you get so much resistance for it. Like, people don't even care about domestic violence as much as they care about hearing about psychological conditions and terms. They get so triggered. I can't sit for a while, this long without a fan, but the fan is blowing the flowers away, so I'm just doing my best. But it's a good thing that their nectar is kind of holding them together a little bit, which makes separating them difficult. But I love doing this, and I've been wanting to video myself doing this for a long, long, long time, because traditionally, when there's like a big um, festival or a celebration of some sorts, flowers are a very important part of it. And not just in decoration, it's also for like religious activities, prayers, and for the guests and invitees to put in their hair. So when there are big events and uh, people get together, because of all the gender bias, it's mostly women that I've seen sitting down in a group and tying these flower garlands and exchanging all the gossip they have. I'm not a gossip. I swear I'm not a gossiper. Like, my brain immediately pukes. But then, what counts as gossip? Okay, for me, gossip is things about a person that, information about a person's life, or something that happened to someone else that does not affect us. That's gossip. And the reason why it's confusing on whether something is gossip or not is because sometimes when a person is negatively affected by someone and that person is trying to make sense of it, trying to prove to themselves that they don't deserve to be treated badly by this person, in such cases, we usually bring up the topic of the person who hurt us with others who may have been also hurt by the person. And that I honestly don't think that counts as gossip, because that is literally just trying to find connection and trying to make sense of what you have experienced. But then it's so tricky to differentiate between these two. And a lot of times, the person who has been negatively affected ends up cursing themselves that, I shouldn't have said all those things to the mutual friend or something. And then there's this completely other breed of talkers who use gossip as a means of communication, a means of indirect communication to whoever they want. Like, yeah. When I discovered that, I was like, bye, world. Yeah. But anyway, I haven't been comfortable talking openly to anyone of late. So here I am. Let me talk to everyone. this is so therapeutic. I discontinued my therapy, by the way, so I've been trying to find alternate ways to feel better, uh, because, oh, good heavens. Oh my god, like, there are fraudulent people in all fields, but when it comes to the mental health field, it's it's um it's wrong on so many levels. uh, yeah, so I've had trouble with that. I've had my suspicions, and it took me like months to confirm my suspicions about how my therapy was going. So um I'm like, I don't have the energy to, because when you change your therapist, until you find someone who's a good fit for you, you have to go through so many sessions and so many screenings and shortlisting, and that it takes a lot of time and energy for that. So I don't have that now, so I'm just making flower gardens instead. And this is amazing. Like, I love doing this for now. Let's see where it goes. Also, in conversations with real people, I mean, right now I'm just having a conversation with my phone, but when it comes to having live conversations with people, uh, there's always that question of who gets to whine more today. It's there. I mean, in healthy relationships, it's more um, balanced, and in unhealthy relationships, it's more skewed towards one side at all times. I'm not saying one person, but one side. So if it's very skewed, where sometimes it's all about person A and sometimes it's all about person B, that still counts as unbalanced, according to me. Yeah. And I've had so much trouble speaking in general these days, and I thought this activity might be a good place for me to soft launch into the speaking space. So yeah. Also, I'm practicing this thing where I filter my thoughts, not in a way that I hide them or suppress them, not like that, but when the thought first occurs, I'm trying to understand that that first occurrence is just between me and myself, and then whatever that initial thought transforms into, that's for whatever medium I want to use it in. It could be writing, it could be doing something, or it could be talking. So that is something that I'm trying to practice of late. So I have a lot of these awkward pauses mid-sentence, so multiple pauses, not just in the middle of a sentence, but like a sentence with several commercial breaks in between, because I'm still working that habit of letting the initial thought transform into something more presentable. Well, at first I started practicing this because I didn't want to be misunderstood, which is fair. But then eventually I realized that not wanting to be misunderstood is not a very healthy place to be in. So yeah, we're transforming. Oh no, this is not enough. Let's give it a try. Sometimes I get a bit violent, like it's not fitting, so I'm like, no dirty jokes, please. I think this is the most I've spoken. This is the most I've spoken in a relaxed context in a very long time. Yeah. This is how many are left, which can be dealt with. Oops. Yeah, but recently I've been going wrong a lot in this. Like, it's always falling short, or once in a while I overdo it and there's too much thread left over. What to do? The attache. Not a sailor. I don't know any special knots. Like, I needed to even mention that. We do a double knot at the starting and the ending. I've recently started doing this, by the way, and I love it. I love it. Ta-da! And look how much thread is left. Shame, shame.